Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about the Lakers versus Timberwolves, in particular Game 2, what the Lakers' game plan was, why it worked so well, and what it means for the rest of the series. Let's go. Let's begin with the Lakers on defense because I think that was the most impactful area. And frankly, they held the Timberwolves to crazy low points through the first half and first three quarters even. And why they were able to do that, I think, is a crucial aspect. And so essentially what it came down to is Anthony Edwards. And their philosophy was going to be Anthony Edwards does not get clean looks, especially at the rim. So we can see as he beats Austin Reeves slightly here by rejecting the screen, we have LeBron and Luka both literally ignoring their players, saying Anthony Edwards is not going to get a clean look at the rim, force you to kick it out and shoot a semi-contested three by somebody else. On this inbounds right here, we see ball screen occurring, and we're going to make sure we put two on the ball temporarily. We don't want Anthony Edwards coming free downhill. So that means Hayes is going to pursue and force Anthony Edwards to pick up his dribble somewhere outside the paint, essentially. Even on this flyby, having a contested shot like that, even if he makes some of them, is going to be much more difficult, but a great job recovering by Hayes, and he gets a piece of this ball on release. Okay, so now ball screen happens, and as this drive occurs, we should know what to expect. We're going to see essentially help. One other thing there that was, I think, good is they just simply switched a lot of the ball screens. They switch unless it was usually involving Jackson Hayes, and the reason is because they know they're going to have help behind, so it doesn't matter if there's a slight mismatch of who's guarding Anthony Edwards, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic. It doesn't matter because you have help coming behind. We see James not near Randall. He's helping off aggressively. Everyone else is like forming this little pentagon essentially to make sure that Anthony Edwards does not get a drive going downhill, and frankly it really limited him. Okay, there's no space right here. Rui does a good job on ball, but Austin Reeves is right there. And the reason this works in particular is because there's not a great way to kick this ball out. Like, where is he going to go? That's an open shot right now. Like, there's not great spacing because you have Gobert. You kind of have players in here. And, like, maybe here you could say DiVincenzo slightly. Maybe three. But those are not easy passes. And so this is what the Lakers are banking on. They're saying force him to make these tough passes, and they're not going to be able to hit threes on the perimeter enough to counteract it. And this is a shot they 100% want. Step back threes by Julius Randle for sure is what the Lakers want. So going forward in the next 5 games or however many there's going to be, I would anticipate this strategy excessively. I'll be curious what the Timberwolves try and do to counter this, to try and get Anthony Edwards this more space. My guess it's something to do with off-ball movement and setting ball screens for good shooters on the perimeter, I think, or off-ball screens for good shooters on the perimeter, I think would be crucial. But as he beats Luka right there, this is why you're okay with the switch, because you know that even if he beats Luka, you have help coming, and that is such a difficult shot. And he makes these sometimes, don't get me wrong, but these are not easy shots, and those are the shots that you want to give up here, the Lakers. Contested, difficult shots. And then the other thing they started to go to kind of in the fourth quarter I saw more of is they would just try and take Anthony Edwards fully out of the play. So they're essentially going to deny everything involving him. And so as Rui switches on to him right here, he's just going to make sure Anthony Edwards, he's going to say, you don't touch the ball. And the logic here is somebody not named Anthony Edwards is going to be far worse for the Timberwolves. And that ball got deflected, but still them trying to force the ball to Anthony Edwards. So we can see even when Luka's up here guarding him, same thing. Full on deny, say somebody else, prove that you can beat us, and the evidence says that they were unable to do that. And then from the Lakers on offense perspective, and this is just one clip to highlight it, but I think the Lakers did an excellent job pushing the ball in transition, and they very quickly looked ahead every single opportunity, and if there was any liability, like let's say Rudy Gobert trailing behind or something like that, the Lakers looked to capitalize it, and they did a tremendous job. Like here, because you were so spaced out and because Rudy Gobert has to go from the other side of the court, you're going to have an advantage going downhill because he's slower and Austin Reeves is quicker. And then LeBron straight up beats this defender right here, just gets a step ahead of him. And because you have to commit now to Austin Reeves going downhill, that leaves LeBron with nobody clearly in front of him because he was able to beat his defender. And so the Lakers, I think, did a tremendous job in transition. And then even indirectly from transition, I think they did a great job too. And here we can see them pushing the ball up, and they didn't necessarily score because of this transition right here. But what they did is they forced the Timberwolves to have to engage early, and that means they don't get to pick their matchups, which means that Luka is now guarded by Rudy Gobert. And the Timberwolves were they were just content with this. And they, at least for the first couple of quarters, they didn't mind Luka being on Gobert. And I mean, Gobert's a quick, good defender, frankly, for a big. But that being said, it's still an extremely difficult task for him to match up with Luka one-on-one, worry about the shooting and worry about the driving. And I think the Lakers got quite a bit of an advantage from it, especially in a game where the Timberwolves were frankly struggling to score. And so here's the other way they tried to target Rudy Gobert is they tried to get switches on ball screens. And again, the Timberwolves, they conceded this relatively easily early on in the game, and they were just like encouraging Rudy Gobert to be there. And I get it, Rudy Gobert is a very good player, but that's extremely difficult to ask him to repeatedly guard Luka one-on-one. Maybe it'll work out, but I would lean towards that being a negative expected value decision. So that is probably one area that I'll be the most curious about in game 3, game 4, etc., is whether they choose to allow those switches onto Rudy Gobert or they try and fight him a little bit more. But here we can see kind of in transition again, like I don't know if this is miscommunication by the Timberwolves, but they surely didn't have Rudy Gobert just guarding Austin Reeves. But because there's a little bit of confusion, I'm guessing in transition, it leads to Austin Reeves and Rudy Gobert working one-on-one. And Austin Reeves probably isn't going to be as efficient as Luka in the long run, but he's still going to be able to attack. Maybe, frankly, this is a pretty clean look that he gets right here. Attack the big, attacks the high leg right there, and is able to beat him off the dribble for a crucial bucket at a crucial time. And so the big takeaways I had from this game is, 1, the Lakers in transition look good. 2, is the Lakers being able to get the switch on Rudy Gobert and capitalize it, I think is crucial. And I'm curious how that happens in Game 3, whether the Timberwolves allow it to happen or not. And then 3 is the defense from the Lakers was astounding in making sure Anthony Edwards was not the player to beat you. Force somebody else to by providing excessive help and make one of the other 4 players on the court beat you. And the Timberwolves were unable to in Game 2. And we'll see how that progresses in Game 3. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.